Coming up, expressions of interest sought for a major event in Shell Harbour, the University of Wollongong's plan to address parking problems, and Avondale on top in Illawarra rugby.
This is Win News.
Tonight, what the future holds for the Illawarra's coal mining industry. Wings over Illawarra opened up to expressions of interest. And a growing divide between regional and metropolitan areas. Good evening, I'm Kerryn Johnston.
I'm Geoff Phillips. Also tonight, a pilot caught up in a drug ring faces court.
And the University of Wollongong to address parking concerns.
There are large question marks over the future of the state's mining industry tonight. The New South Wales Minerals Council has identified India as key to the industry's future, despite reports India is to become a self-sufficient coal producer within the next 3 years. Activist investment firm Sandon Capital has told BlueScope investors the company should seriously consider closing the steelworks in order to release more value to shareholders. Last week, BlueScope announced it needed to make game-changing decisions with regards to how it makes steel, as it struggles to compete with cheaper foreign producers. Sandon Capital says it's not criticising the company, but maintains there needs to be a discussion of what remains viable. Closing the steelworks would see up to 1,000 workers lose their jobs.
The Geographical Names Board has approved plans to absorb the suburb of Penrose near Dapto into Avondale. The name change comes after much confusion between Penrose in the Illawarra and Penrose the town on the Southern Highlands. Last year, Wollongong City Council voted to change the name of the suburb. Residents can have their say on the proposed name change on the Geographical Names Board website, with submissions closing on the 13th of July.
The Australian Local Government Association has released its annual State of the Regions report. Now in its 17th year, the report has identified large levels of inequality between regions and rising levels of unemployment as areas of particular concern. Coming up on Win News, a world-famous production on its way to Wollongong.
And the program helping teenagers deal with behavioural problems at school. Welcome back. Police have confirmed a crystallised powder found at Westfield Fig Tree is not linked to a similar incident a fortnight ago, which closed down a bakery inside the same centre. Firefighters were called after an opaque substance was found at the post office in an envelope which had a return to sender address. Police say they won't know what the substance is until it's been tested. It comes 10 days after a white powder was found in an envelope with the same complex. State Crime Command is investigating that discovery and a raft of others recorded across the state.
2 men have been charged after trying to smuggle drugs into the Goulburn Correctional Centre. Police say a 24-year-old man was detected by a sniffer dog handler while trying to enter the jail yesterday. It's alleged he removed a packet concealed on his body which is believed to have contained amphetamines. Later, police arrested a 34-year-old man after allegedly finding a large amount of unlawfully obtained cash in his car.
A program aimed at young men facing mental health and behavioural issues has proven successful. A group of boys from Dapto High School is taking part in the Junior Top Blokes program to help deal with issues facing teenage boys.
Amy is here with sport, and Helensburgh too strong for Thirroul in the Challenge Cup final.
That is right, Geoff. The Tigers roared to victory despite having a handful of players backing up from the country championships just 24 hours earlier. Plus, Owen Wright surfs his way into the record books at Cloudbreak in Fiji.
This sports report brought to you by Nimble. Smart little loans. Nimble it and move on at nimble.com.au.
In sport, Owen Wright has etched his name into the record books en route to the quarterfinals of the Fiji Pro. Up against fellow Aussie Adam Melling in round 5, Wright posted a spectacular 10-point ride, but the Thirroul surfer didn't stop there, becoming just the 7th pro surfer in history to achieve a perfect heat when he notched a second 10-point wave. Wright will be looking for more of the same when he meets Joel Parkinson in the quarterfinals. St George Illawarra winger Ito Nabuli has agreed to a 1-year contract extension, which will see him remain at the Dragons until at least the end of 2016. Meanwhile, in local league, Helensburgh has won the inaugural cashback app Illawarra Challenge Cup, proving far too good for Thirroul. And thrill netballer Taylor Davies has a big game to look forward to. Her Sydney Swifts qualify for the ANZ Championships decider. That's against Rebecca Bully's Queensland Firebirds, Geoff.
OK, thank you, Amy. The weather details are next. Then, celebrating Aboriginal culture at the Indigenous Arts Festival.
This report brought to you by SWA Financial Planning.
Vastly different to yesterday. Cool and wet across the region today for your Back to Work Monday. Let's have a look at the satellite. Thick cloud stretching over New South Wales with a low pressure trough is causing areas of rain in the west. Low cloud along the coast with moist onshore winds is also triggering shower activity. Onto the synoptic chart, a trough and embedded low over the east will combine and deepen. That will cause rain and storms to become heavy and widespread over much of the country, including South Australia, Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales, ACT and Queensland, just about everywhere. Ridges of high pressure will direct showery winds onto the Queensland and southern WA coasts while keeping elsewhere in the middle there dry. Temperature-wise today, Wollongong to 17 degrees, Bowral 8 to 11, 15 the top in Ulladulla, Nowra reached 16 as did Batemans Bay, Maria to 18, Narooma recorded 16, it was 13 degrees in Bega, Merimbula and Eden. The forecast for the Illawarra and the Highlands, a mostly cloudy Tuesday, patchy morning fog, a high chance of rain, winds northeasterly at 15 to 20 kilometres an hour, becoming light in the late afternoon. For the south coast, a mostly cloudy day, patchy morning fog with an 80% chance of rain, north to northeasterly winds tending north to northwesterly in the evening. Seas running at 1.5 to 2.5 metres on a 1 to 2.5 metre swell. The first tide tomorrow is low at 2:05. The high comes rolling in bang on 8 o'clock. Temperature-wise for Tuesday in Eden, 8 to 17. Merimbula expecting 18 degrees, Bega 17, 18 the top in Narooma and Maria, 17 for Batemans Bay and Ulladulla, 16 degrees in Nowra, 9 to 12 degrees in Bowral, in Wollongong 15 to 18. Further ahead, wet and windy on Wednesday, showers coming through on Thursday and fine with the chance of a shower again on Friday.
Finally tonight, Aboriginal art and culture was celebrated at the Wollongong Indigenous Art Festival at Wollongong Art Gallery. The week-long event recognised the efforts of South Coast Indigenous artists.
And that is Win News for Monday the 15th of June.
To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page.
Join us for the All Australian News at midnight and again tomorrow for the best 90 minutes of news from 6. Good night.
Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation from Win, Australia's #1 regional television network.